welcome back to the Golf for 10 show, and welcome back to Baxter, who does join us after a week of, how did you put it, watching the Tigers? Is that how you explained it? You felt like you had to watch the Tigers every single day?
Oh, mate, I think watching the Tigers each and every day would be a step in heaven compared to what I was going through. I was actually a door knock away from death, so I'm glad to be back here, minus the throat. But it was good to get the feet up, watch all the games again, and watch some highlights from over Easter. So, yeah, let's just rip off the Band-Aid and let's get into it, eh?
Well, let's rip into it. We are here for round 7. The ladder is up there. You've got the Broncos, Panthers, Warriors, and Manly in the top 4 with the Rabbits, Sharks, Storm, and Dolphins rounding out the top 8. You've got my boys, the Roosters, in 9th with the Titans, Knights, Eels, Dragons, Raiders, Bulldogs. Your boys, the Cowboys, definitely underachieving in that second-year syndrome, and the Tigers in 17th place. But like you said, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's look at the Dally M leaderboard. You've got Harry Grant on 20, Payne Haas and Reece Walsh also on 20. You've got Cleary on 18. You've got Edwards, Sean Johnson on 17. You've got Hunt and Miller on 16, and Reynolds and Daly Cherry Evans on 15. Now, we'll break this down a little bit more when we talk about each game and who got what points. But looking at this, if you had to pick your favorite or maybe your two favorites coming out of this so far after round 7 on this list, who would you be taking for Dally M?
Look, at the moment, it's going to be a tight one between the two Queenslanders, Reece Walsh and Harry Grant. I think they're both playing terrific, exciting football in their own positions. Harry Grant playing 9 and Walshy just circling around looking for that loose ball where he can add an assist or a move within the defensive line at fullback there. So both are playing impressive, and to see a forward in the top at equal first this stage of the game is pretty impressive as well.
100%. I looked at it a little bit different. I went as far as your boy Dylan Edwards. I just think if I look at Harry Grant, Payne Haas, Reece Walsh, Nathan Cleary, Ben Hunt, Daly Cherry Evans, they're all going to play Origin. So there's 3 games that they're not getting any points for. And yes, I know Penrith have some buys in those rounds, but if Cleary gets rested after that, if Grant, if Walsh, if they get rested, I can just see this as a spot where Dylan Edwards gets that 3 points. So I do think Dylan Edwards is there. I do think Sean Johnson is in the mix because every time the Warriors win a game, that man's going to be getting points because he steers the ship around. But I am, like you said, very interested to see how far Payne Haas can go. But I think if you have to go on the basis of the way Reece Walsh is playing, the way Harry Grant is playing, let's hope they lose Origin but take home the Dally M. So I'm okay with that. But let's jump into the first game. It was the Rabbits 36 defeating the Dolphins 14. I thought this game was quite a close contest until the justified sin bin. There was a sin bin that did change this game completely. But talk to me about that first half. Obviously, the Rabbits started very slow. The Dolphins had the intensity. They were all over them. They were scoring points. And then flip a switch. Rabbitohs almost already had momentum. But as soon as that sin bin happened, I think it was 4 sets, 3 tries. So are we starting to see how much of an impact discipline can have on your team? And then obviously for Souths, is it a concern about these slow starts in the first half?
Maybe a bit of concerning first half for Souths, but I think it's more whether the Storm for the first 40 minutes, see what the attacks they can throw at you, and if you can ride it out and into the second half, I think that's when they come out. They're a second half team, especially they showed it on Thursday night. Dolphins unlucky with the injuries that they're missing. To only put up 14 points is probably a C+ in my books with the players they had, but they've got to do better with the discipline there. You got to be when the ball's going up in the air, make sure you have eyes on the ball, not the player. That's a big boo-boo.
I think the worst part is he wasn't even close. Like, you can say, you know what, he hit the player, it was close. Like, the ball was nowhere near him when he took him out. Like, the ball was still at 2-3 meters above his head. So I don't know what was going through his head, but ultimately that did cost him the 2 points. And Demetrio gets one up over, obviously, his ex-colleague in Wayne Bennett. But I guess, what do you make? Obviously, there is a state of origin debate. We've had our teams. We've been going over our teams. We've been talking about it off air. You've got Cody Walker. Now, some people, I don't know how, they've put him in contention for this jersey. He's playing good football. Do you think this is something where people are reading too much into his 1 or 2 good games he's had? Because let's be honest, he's probably 1 week away from trying to get into a punch on and getting suspended. So what do you make of Cody Walker's form? Do you think he's anywhere near that blue side, whether it's in camp or playing at all?
I think he's like fifth choice if he wants to play in this Origin squad. I know you said that we've been touching on our squads, and I didn't even consider him to be even a part of the squad that I made. So I think one or two good games doesn't really put your name in the ring for a contention spot. So Luai is the incumbent. He's done it. He's done there and won it. He's done there and lost it. So it's only his to lose at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think, like you said, Luai probably does have the upper hand, but I do think Nico Hines is breathing down his neck. But let's look at the injuries out of this match. Obviously, you've got Big Keon. He does have a leg injury. They are saying it's syndesmosis, so it's looking similar to what Addo Carr's got. He might require surgery. He's looking at 6 to 8 weeks on the sideline, so that's a massive, massive loss for South Sydney Rabbitohs moving forward. The judiciary from this week, Kenny Bromwich has accepted his 1-match ban for his grade 2 dangerous contact. Cameron Murray has taken his fine for his careless high tackle, and Davey Mawali has also taken his fine for $1,000. And then obviously, like we said, Dally M points, you got Cody Walker on 6, Jai Arrow on 2, Damien Cook on 2, Cody Nicarima got 1, and Latrell Mitchell got 1. Does anything really stand out for you here, or is it just kind of, I guess, some players get suspended with their name, some players don't, but I think it's fair game after all these charges?
It is fair game.
Beautiful. And obviously, let's talk about it. The man down the bottom, Latrell Mitchell, he takes his spot back in Origin. Do you think these are a bit of a unicorn point? He feels like, for me, and I'm not talking Latrell down here, but I feel like if you watched Rabbitohs games the last couple of weeks when they've won and they've won big, until the game is in their favor or until the game is comfortable, that's when he shows up and scores a try. It's not when they're down 14-0, he comes up and scores 6 points. I just feel like he could score a try and do nothing. He's going to get a point in Dally M.
It's Latrell Mitt. It's pretty hard not to give him a point with the name that he's got. So, and position wise as well. So, no, it's a bit hard playing fullback and trying to turn a game on its head, especially when you got that 4-pack from the Dolphins there. So, as you said, him bidding tries open and. Mate, he's going to play Origin. I reckon he's going to play left centre. He's the best left centre in the game. Went on form, and it's his jersey to lose at the moment.
Well, I know we have been speaking a lot about Origin, so obviously, guys, we will do an episode where we do kind of go through and we predict our lineups each week. We might even make it a rolling episode where we make changes each week after we have said it. So we'll kind of talk about that off air. We'll find a way where we can get our episodes up. It might be Instagram. We get a little post up and then we do a rolling week where we change it based on how players perform each week. But let's jump in.